Damn good coffee. And hot.
Damn good coffee. That Koa coffee, I gotta tell you, that Koa coffee is damn good coffee, and it's especially damn good when it's hot. It's just the way it is. Good morning, folks. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, May 11th, 2022. And it's still dark and dreary where I am. I don't know temperature-wise. Let me get a gander temperature-wise what I'm facing here today. Right now it's 50 degrees. Hope it's a beautiful day wherever you are. It's still not springtime. Last night on the Mind Dog TV podcast, my guest was in Houston telling me it was 95 there. I'm jealous. I love 95-degree weather, especially when it's 50 here. I know I might complain about the heat a little bit in 95 degrees, but hey, I look forward to 95 degrees. I love that. We don't have that here. Houston is where he is at. Anyway, I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. Of course, if you're in New Mexico, not so good today. Still burning incredibly at a pace I've never seen before. And they're finally starting to cover it on the news. Not that there's much we can do about it, but I think there is something that can be done. I mean, make an effort to battle the fires out there on a federal level. Send, I don't know what they can do. Those planes that are just, putting fire retardant and water and whatever, but gotta help save. And it is the forgotten state on certain two different newscasts. Oh, not newscasts. One was from Good Morning America, and one was from some local New York, I believe, affiliate of one of the networks. Don't even understand that New Mexico is a state. They were talking about it as if it was a foreign country, a part of Mexico. These people with communications degrees, you would think, since they're working at networks in media, who don't know that New Mexico is a state. But besides from not knowing it's a state, not doing anything to help at all, not even making an effort to help. Very, very disconcerting, very sad to see. And we hope the fires go out soon. They could use some of our rain, of course. Would love to be able to help in any way that we could, but it just doesn't seem to be in the cards. Anyway, I'm always a downer, man. Downers. The show is becoming a real downer. Now, yesterday, if you tuned in, oh my God, yesterday was the strangest day for me in a long time. Now, I've had some strange guests since I've been doing the podcast. Sam Ha, an Iranian guy, Iranian immigrant who came to the United States to be a stand-up comedian. His first stop was Dallas, Texas. Not necessarily the place you would think would be a first stop for a immigrant from the Middle East, Dallas, Texas. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the most conservative part of America, see if I can make it there as a stand-up comedian. Now, aside from that, he doesn't like to tell jokes or even funny stories. He wants to make people happy with a stuffed panda bear he calls Tommy. I wanted to get a clip, but it was downloading the video was taking too long last night. I wanted to create a clip, just a short clip, to show people. It's pretty surreal. And when I explained it to my wife last night, her initial reaction was the same as mine. That's Andy Kaufman's act, his original act, even before the Mighty Mouse Here We Come to Save the Day lip syncing stuff. Andy started in New York City comedy clubs doing essentially children's shows for adults, and people didn't know what to make of it. Sam is doing the same thing. He's doing essentially children's shows for adults. Yeah. Hello, this is Tommy. Tommy is a panda bear. Say hello, Tommy. Oh, Tommy doesn't want to speak. And then waves the panda bear's paw. Surreal. So that was an hour conversation yesterday. And then lots of business crap that just went south yesterday. Really messed up day. And then last night I had David D. Shine on, who has written a couple books. One of them called The Decline of America, and the other called A Bad Deal for America. Both claiming to be nonpartisan looks at our broken political system and how it could be fixed. Now, it became apparent, probably 30 seconds in, that it was not bipartisan at all. It wasn't. The guy is a clear Republican, right wing, red red tie guy. Not that there's necessarily that's wrong. It's just when you claim to be nonpartisan or bipartisan, that that can't be clear that you're a Republican conservative, a hardcore conservative. And even a couple of times during the conversation, um, I don't know if he slipped up or actually said that he's a hardcore conservative and ran for office as a Republican a couple of times. Again, not picking on Republicans. I'm not. But if you claim to be bipartisan and not part of the two-party system, you can't be that far into one side. That's just beyond hypocritical. Anyway, I did agree with him on some of the things he was saying, where we had a major disagreement because he's from Texas and he's drill baby drill, and they're talking about the gas prices. And his claim was because and he's defending the big oil industry. And I'll start with my claim is that um, big oil and greed are what's driving our gas prices and home fuel prices through the roof. It's not the traditional forces of economics of supply and demand because we have virtually the same supply. There's no shortage of oil. And we have less demand because people are doing more working from home. There's a lot more people working from home than ever before, working remotely, and teleconferencing in and all that kind of stuff. People are driving less. For as far as home heating oil and stuff like that, far more people have solar now than ever have, and people are driving hybrid or electric vehicles a lot more. So demand for gas is down, supply remains the same. That's not what's driving the prices up. It's greed by the oil companies. And to prove that, they've posted record profits, not just record profits like beating last year, but 4 times what they did for quarter 1 last year. 4 times. Now his contention is their profit margin is only 2%, where in other industries it's as much as 25%. And why not go after Apple for price gouging? Their margin is 25%. I don't know that's true, and I don't see. Yeah, I don't think one has anything to do with the other. If you want to go after other companies for price gouging, please do it. I'm all for that. People just going insane, just greed driving prices up. Yeah, we should go after them too, but that doesn't mean we should ignore what is really happening in the gas and oil industry and why our gas prices are insane. It's record profits. It's ka-ching, 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 putting more money in their own pockets. And so I'm very I find the claim that the big oil industries profit margins are only 2%. because they'd have to be selling an awful lot more to be breaking records by 4 or 5 times what their record profits were. They'd have to be selling we'd have to be driving like crazy. Everybody I know would have to be driving 1,000 miles a week for that to happen or more. It's just not the case. Dishonest. It's dishonest to say. Anyway, so your gas prices are because of greed. What else is going on today? Well, there's still the protesting at Supreme Court judges' houses, and I don't have a problem with that ever. I know some people do. Oh, you shouldn't protest at people's houses. People work for you. People in government, and I'm not just saying just because of this of the most current thing that pissed people off was the Roe v. Wade overturning in the Supreme Court, which is not quite official yet, but we know it's coming. Anything, left, right, doesn't matter. Your paid representatives, people who are supposed to be serving you, if they're completely failing a peaceful protest outside their homes, shouldn't be a problem. The headlines on some of the right-wing media is Roe v. Wade decision sparks national violence. Show me any. There's been no violence. There's people marching with signs. So when one person drew on a sidewalk outside of Susan Collins' house with pink chalk, that's their violence. As opposed to what happened at the Capitol on January 6th. That was real violence. There's none of that going on right now. The hypocrisy is freaking overwhelming with the take on stuff and just a one-sided bullshit that we're getting. And it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter what the cause is, um, what the purpose of the protest is. Peaceful protest outside of anybody's house. If they work for you and they're letting you down, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a problem if it becomes non-peaceful or violent in any way, or even intimidating to the point where people are living in fear. And you know what? Somebody marching with signs out in front of my house, I'm not going to be living in fear. If you are, then you are a definition of a snowflake. Oh my God, I'm scared. They have signs. Whatever. Oh boy, I saw a one pitch of baseball last night because I saw it on Twitter. I don't have television, as most people know. Don't watch television. Don't have television. But the Yankees, and I was saw that Yankees and Blue Jays were trending, and saw that it was the 8th inning and Toronto was up, and I thought, well, the Yankees are gonna, finally experience a little bit of a downtrend. They've been going pretty well, it's winning streaks, and the best record in baseball. And I thought, well, they're due for a loss. Okay, 9th inning, and a pitch comes across Twitter. Aaron Judge at the plate with a chance to tie the game. And what I think is the worst. I don't know if you follow baseball. The worst pitch and I saw one pitch yesterday, and it happened to be what I consider the worst pitch in the history of the game. It was as if, listen, you got tying runs on base, winning run at the plate, and you put it on a tee right in the middle of the plate, medium velocity, no action on the ball at all. It was like, here it is on a tee to Aaron Judge, who, let's face it, he might not be Babe Ruth, he might not be Barry Bonds, but he's got a lot of power, and it's undeniable. And he represents the winning run, and you put it on a tee for the guy. The pitcher was named Romano. I don't forget his first name, but I would cut that guy immediately. Closer or no closer, say you can't listen. There's so many places you could put a pitch, low and inside, low and outside, high and outside, whatever. You don't put a medium level minor league, no action, I don't even changeup in the middle of the plate for a guy who's just sitting on it like it's on a tee. It was ridiculous, and so um, they're the nice guys, Yankees. Good morning, Otis. He likes the Yankees. I like the new look Yankees. They're the nice guys, Yankees. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't. And again, I'm not really following sports, but man, maybe there's no way I can share that pitch. Maybe I can, but it was just so blatantly like put on a tee for a guy who who can win the game with one swing of the bat. It was just bizarre, and so I don't care how much you get paid. I don't care how important you are to the team. That closer, Romano, he would be out of the game and never pitch another game because it's so easy not to do what he did. There's no excuse for putting putting it on a tee. Literally putting it on a tee. I could have hit that ball out. I could have hit that ball out. Speaking of tees, Big T will be with us today. Tom Farrell, otherwise known as Big T, host of THC TV, will be with us at 10 a.m. Looking forward to that. So, um, William's with us. William Conway. Good morning, William. Good to see you over there in the YouTube chat room. Still very early for me. I'm probably going back to 9 o'clock starts next week. That half hour is making a big difference. I am just still low energy in the morning. Anyway, William Conway is going to be playing at the West Texas or featured at the West Texas Comic Con, and he needs your votes. And so, I gotta go find the links again now. He's on YouTube with his pitch for the West Texas Comic Con, and we need you to like the video on this YouTube page. Now, let's just check it out where it is. I want to see what the numbers look like as of now. I'm looking for the link. Bear with me one moment. So, oh yeah, here we go. So the they put ads on the damn video now. He's up to 170 views. We need to get him. We need to get him at least 1,000 views on this thing. Um, and so let me put it in the banners right now. I could go over some of Carl's crap that he puts in my. Oh, here it is, right here. So that's where you can go. That link, I'll put it in the description. If you go to my Twitter page, that link should be in some of my recent tweets. It's on my Facebook page. I've shared it many, many times. Go and support William. Just make sure you like it on the YouTube page, because if you just watch it, it doesn't really help him much. You gotta like it. Love the Kelly. Good morning, Kelly. I haven't seen you in the room for a while, and you really didn't miss much. I was talking about yesterday. Oh my God. I just don't even know how to begin to new copyright matches. People are using my content. This is interesting. YouTube's told me that people are stealing my content and using it. Um, Christina Evans uses some of my lyrics. Wow, this is interesting. Capelli, somebody in Russia, is using some of my music. Was this Chris Cuomo? Oh, somebody's using what? Is Chris Cuomo the name of the video that is using some of my music? Chris Cuomo destroys insane Kellyanne Conway on Donald Trump Jr.'s Russia ties. That's interesting. And the channel is PT. So somebody's using my content in a political interesting. Anderson Cooper video? Wow. Oh, I'm sorry. I get caught up watching a YouTube video because some people are stealing my content, which I'm all for. You want to steal my music? Please go ahead and do it. Eventually, you're going to end up paying the royalties, which would be good for me. So I encourage people. Uh, yeah, what could you say? Been blah. Man, I've been blah too. I feel you blah, baby. I feel that blah. I feel that blah coming. It's been really gray and overcast. Yesterday the sun was out for a little bit. I went and did some yard work. Here's a little pro tip for you. Keep a pair of because my wife did a spring cleaning a couple of weeks ago and got rid of all my old shoes and all my old sneakers. Keep a pair of old sneakers for when you're doing yard work. You don't want to do that in your good new sneakers, your nice white sneakers. Anyway, so I got out in the sun. It got up to 63 yesterday. Felt like springtime a little bit for one day, but we're back to overcast, and rainy, and cloudy, and blah 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 over here. Good morning, Cat. Cat, the star of the Casmatics, Catsmatics. I'm a little sleepy myself. Lead singer and bass player. She didn't know she was a bass player. She's the lead singer and bass player of the Catsmatics, uh, a neo pseudo classic rock punk rock singer songwriter, mellow um, music cult with a cult following from 1979. And they had several albums out, but their favorite album is called Fruity Cocktails. Check it out now. Uh, wow, I did not know you have a bass, but that's why they call me the mind dog. He just knows things without knowing how he knows things. That's why he's the mind dog. Your mind dog is your mind's best friend. Uh, anyway, good morning. Oh, I was speaking to Kelly. Has it been that blah out in uh, Western Missouri, Western Mo? It's been very blah as far as stuff here. I was talking about what you didn't miss anything yesterday. The Andy conversation on Monday was delightful. Andy always is. I love talking to Andy. Yesterday was I kind of talked about this already today, but yesterday was one of the weirdest days, and it started off very weird to begin with because my guest was a guy named Sam Ha, comedian from Iran that I couldn't find anything on. How he got booked on the show, that's a discussion for another day. But he was booked on the show, and I knew nothing about him. I didn't even know he was from Iran at that point. I knew he was a comedian. I knew he lived in Los Angeles, California, or Stockton, California. That's it. Come to find out that he emigrated from Iran 5 years ago, and his first stop to be a stand-up comedian in America. You know, if you know anything about Iran, they don't have American TV. They don't have any American influences over there. It's not like he was listening to Doug Stanhope audiobooks. Or so where do you start in Iran to get the initiative to say, I'm going to go to America and be a stand-up comedian? What's your influence? Okay, so he leaves his family and everybody behind, comes here all alone, all alone. Now that's a brave thing to do. Go to a foreign country, but a foreign country that, let's face it, if you know anything about the world at all, you know Iran and America, not best buds, not good friends. The countries hate each other. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the countries hate each other. Iran calls America the Great Satan and Israel the Little Satan. And America calls Iran part of the axis of evil. And those words by the governments of both countries, the rhetoric has been extremely high since 1978. The Iran, what was 78, 79, the Iran hostage crisis situation, since the Shah was deposed there. Anyway, countries don't like each other. So this guy by himself, leaving his family behind to go do stand-up comedy in a country that you know hates your country. Pretty brave move. Now, I asked him about his comedy, and he doesn't tell jokes or tell funny stories. He wants to make people happy. Doesn't seem like the normal thing you see in a comedy club. I mean, because even comedians, the most hysterical comedians, not necessarily happy, not necessarily positive. They're complaining about, a lot of the comedy is like, even with me being a grumpy ass negative son of a bitch that I am, I'm laughing at pain. I'm laughing at what's not right. I'm laughing at how fucked up we all are. He just wants to make people happy. He's not telling jokes, not telling humorous stories or funny stories. What does he do? He has a stuffed panda bear. I have Tommy. Say hello, Tommy. Oh, Tommy does not want to talk. Okay, wave hi, Tommy. And he takes the paw, the panda's paw, and waves hi. And I was like looking at him like, is, is this serious? Now, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words to how to describe really what I was feeling at that moment. But it struck me as early Andy Kaufman. Early Andy Kaufman, before he got the Mighty Mouse lip sync thing. Here I come to save the day. Um, he was doing children's entertainment for adults in comedy clubs in New York City. And he was going, and the cow goes boo, and the pig goes oink for adults. And people didn't know what to make of it. And I brought that up. I said, it kind of reminds me of Andy Kaufman. He said, yes, that's what people say. Um, so he's aware of Andy Kaufman, and people have been pointing that out. And when I talked to my wife about it last night, that was her first reaction. Sounds like Lacca Gravis. I said, yeah, that's what it reminded me of too, like a real life Latka. Um, and I gotta find the clip, but YouTube it was taking way too long to download it yesterday. But I think, in a way, and I'm saying you didn't miss much yesterday because of that. And I'm not trying to put Sam down. Believe me, I appreciate his being here. I appreciate more than anything. I appreciate the balls, the cojones, not just to emigrate from Iran to America to be a stand-up comedy, but then to go to the heart. He's in LA now, and he's doing open mics at the Hollywood Improv with that act. This is the mecca of comedy. This is where LA is the place. You can talk about Austin all you want. LA is still the place where comedians go to make it. And serious comedians, comedians who are serious about being in film and television, using comedy as a stepping stone to stardom in some way, more than you can shake a stick at. So many of them, and they take it very seriously, and it's quite cutthroat, quite competitive. And so you see these guys and girls, and all women. Can I just be myself and just say guys? They're out there competing for the comedy spotlight. Very serious, cutthroat, competitive. And along comes this guy with a panda bear and says, say hello, Tommy. Oh, Tommy don't want to talk. Oh, wave hello, Tommy. Hi, Tommy. And that's basically his act in a nutshell. To me, it's beyond brave. Maybe a little bit. I don't want to say dangerous. I could just see if you're getting 5 minutes of time and somebody else is struggling for that time and wants that time and gets bumped. I could see somebody get what? That's the best I could come up with. I gotta see if I can find some of this now. No, I don't want to switch account. No, YouTube content. Funny that people are stealing my material. I love that. Just looking, I still have that page up where I've been given a notice that several people are using my content without paying for the license. I love that. Keep doing it, folks. Uh, I'm not one of these people who is paranoid about people stealing stuff from me. I love it. It's I can't get enough. Steal away, steal away. All right, here we are. All right, I'm gonna share this right now. I have to. I have to share this with you. Again, you can go back and watch it yourself, but I'm gonna spare you having to go through a whole hour to catch this stuff, and just because my explanation of it does not do it justice. Maybe I'm a little jaded in this, but it seems like most times if I go to see a comedian, they're gonna point out.
Yeah.
Things that they're jaded about in life, things that they're upset about. A lot of comedy is based on gripes.
No.
It's just like what's wrong with the world, and we talk a lot
Yeah.
about that. You
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
see a lot of comedians who are actually bringing a happiness message, even though they're bringing jokes and levity and want to make people laugh.
Right.
The message they're bringing sometimes is a very negative message. Do you agree?
Yeah. 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 I saw people telling me that you're not telling the joke. Mine is like, let's say I'm that big, but mine, I wanna. How can I say? I wanna do things that on me, but myself to make people happy. I'm not gonna take joke. I'm not that type. I'm not say good or bad. I'm not that big to say who was good. But the happiness I find it in me is a real. But I say I'm gonna share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you manifest that?
Okay. You know, I go there and I say, "Hi guys, how are you? My name is Sam, and I'm the greatest comedian in the world." And
This
they
is a
just,
comedy act. I have to remind you.
and I say, "Yeah, I'm very handsome." I'm gonna show them I'm very handsome, my greatest,
It's very
and
handsome.
they're not interested. And then show them that I have a book. I can read a book. I have a lot of books here, and I show them the stuff I have. And also, I have a puppies with me. His name is Tommy. He's a real person. He can talk, but at the time he want to talk, Tommy, please just say hi to the people. Yeah, Tommy is very good and nice person. He's a migrant also. His real name is not Tommy.
That's basically enough of that. Anyway, do you understand now? Does that clear things up? Uh, Hi, everybody. Can I, you're sitting in a comedy club, probably a weeknight, open mic night, but the Hollywood Improv, not just a comedy club in Ass Cancer, Nebraska. Um, and the guy comes on and says, "Hi, everybody. I'm here to make you happy. Yeah, I'm very handsome. I'm a very handsome man. I have a book and I have a puppet." Uh, yeah. Yes. Good morning, Christina. I was just explaining about my guest yesterday, um, and how yesterday started out as a very surreal day with me, and my guest was, and so yeah, you got. I mean, I can't go through explaining it again. You saw what you saw. So that guy is doing that act. I don't think it's an act. I think it's sincere. See, the thing with Andy Kaufman was it was an act when he was doing children's stuff for grown-ups. in adult comedy clubs, it was an act. I don't think with Sam it's an act. I think it's genuine. I think he's a genuine Latka Gravis. Anyway, his presentation in comedy clubs is all around a panda bear waving hi to an audience, and where it goes from there to make people happy. There are no jokes. There are no stories about how he came from Iran by himself to with his panda bear. There's not enough Koa coffee in the world to get me out of this haze that I'm in this morning. And so that was my start to yesterday. Now, Kat's saying she digs it. Now, I wonder what do you mean? Do you mean you understand what I was trying to explain, or do you really enjoy the act? Uh, and listen, if you do, you heard me giggling and laughing. You can't help but giggle when you see that. And when Kiara first started, she started laughing too. And it's not because I wasn't laughing at him. I wasn't laughing at him, but the absurdity of just the idea of presenting that, especially again, we're not talking about a bar where it happened to have comedy in it in the middle of America in some place, or Wyoming in Butte, Montana, Bozeman. We're talking about the LA Improv, which is probably the next step, just one step down from going to the Comedy Store on Sunset and trying to put that out there, competing with some of the best comedians in LA for time, for stage time, for mic time with that. Kat says, I like weird stuff, but it's not your typical stand-up. That's putting it very mildly, not your typical stand-up. Again, the thing that really, with Andy Kaufman, you knew it was an act. Well, people didn't initially know it was an act, which was kind of, and he's the kind of guy who, like with Birds Aren't Real dude, just gets so committed to the bit that he's never going to freely admit that it's an act. So the first 5 minutes of his career, maybe people that didn't get that it was an act. They thought it was serious. With Sam, I really think that's who he is. It's just trying to make people happy, and I say good for him. Good for him, but I don't see him having the career Andy Kaufman had, unless it can evolve it further beyond Tommy the Puppet, Tommy the Panda Bear Puppet. I can't even see how you get 5 minutes out of that. I mean, we got 15 seconds out of it, and that seemed to be where it. And now he was talking about how he's a very handsome man, and that came up again when Kiera came on, and he was buttoning his thing and showing how handsome he was, which is another part of his. So that was the start of my day. Then a whole bunch of crazy business stuff that went down during the day. Well, I'm getting a call. This is probably not worth taking. It seems like a warranty thing. No recognized number in there. Huntington, New York. If you're a real person and you're actually watching the show, let me know in the chat room. Otherwise, I'm not putting you on. I don't want another. What is that? I don't want another. Your extended warranty is up call on the radio. I guess I could put it on, but it's just there's nothing there. And maybe I should have. Nah, I have regrets. Maybe I should have put them on and tried to get through to a real person and discuss my warranty situation. Anyway, Big T will be with me at 10 o'clock. Tom Farrell, local comedian, host of THC TV. Now, Tom is the edible king. He's the guy who sent me that Power Burst bar along with some other edibles. Last time he was on the program, and had me stoned and hallucinating for days. his fault that I became an edible person. He's also a bit of a gambler. I think last time I talked to him, he was in the holes. I want to say $600,000 in the hole in with his gambling. Um, so I want to talk to him about horse racing and baseball and some other stuff that's going on right now. Um, wild and crazy stuff, right? Um, what's he about? We're going to be the playoffs are going on. Stanley Cup playoffs are going on right now. Yeah, and NBA playoffs are going on. I have no idea what's going on with any of that stuff. I stopped following sports, so I'm clueless, totally clueless about this stuff. But I'm sure Tom knows about it, being a gambler. So we'll talk to him about that when he gets here and find out, what's up in the world of sports and what's going on with what are the, I don't necessarily think we're going to ask a guy who's down $600,000 for gambling tips or advice on what to bet on. That's not, but be interesting to get his take. Maybe he's up. Maybe enough time that has passed. Listen, I'm growing up in a gambling home. Things can change pretty quickly. My dad was rich one week, poor the next week, and rich again the following week. That's how it went. So it's completely possible that Big T is up as far as he was down last time we talked to him. I don't know. That's part of why I left home at 14 years old. The stress of that insane lifestyle of never knowing how much you were really going to be worth from day to day, and living on knife's edge with teams and how games went, tempers flare, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. But so Big T will be here at 10. Before that, Kiera will bring us some happy news. Maybe she'll bring us a panda bear. That's possible. We could have that to laugh at and get happy at. Let's see what else is going on in the world. Hillary Duff poses for. This is what's on Twitter today, and it was on there yesterday. Hillary Duff poses for women's health body issue. Now, Hillary Duff was a kid. It seems like yesterday. And I remember she was one of, I don't know if Disney or whatever. She had a cartoon. What's the name of it? Lizzie McGuire, and she was a child. And then all of a sudden, she was doing a pop star and very sexualized young pop star, and like that became a mother. And now she's middle aged, and it seems like all that happened in a blink of an eye in my lifetime. It seems like just yesterday she was a child, and my grandson who watched her show, and that's how I knew about it. And that was, I guess, 25 years ago. The Lizzie McGuire stuff. I'm not sure if that was affiliated with Disney or not. One of those around the time I probably predates even the Hannah Montana stuff. But again, a blink of an eye, and she's a middle-aged woman, and showing off what some people are impressed with. Uh, a nude layout in a non-sexual magazine, Women's Health magazine, is not supposed to be. It's not like Playboy. It's not certainly not like whatever any of those. I don't know. Do they even have? Do they even bother printing nudie magazines anymore, like Hustler and Penthouse and all those? Why bother with live porn streaming into your phone, or any device you have at any minute for free? Why would they even bother with that? But so I guess it's like what most people would say is tasteful nude photography. Uh, but clearly a middle-aged woman in a blink of an eye. Go from kids to being middle-aged. Life is a short ride, folks. It's a short ride. Make the most of it while you can. Sean, good morning, Sean. Good to see you here. If anyone wants to make a perfect batch of cat's butter, I would highly recommend a strain called Gorilla Cookies. Well, thanks for the tip there. I'm scared. I think I've mentioned it. I know I've mentioned this before. I'm scared of trying it myself. I'll leave it to the professionals. It's like weed. I can't grow weed. I leave that to the professionals. By the way, that link you're going to see going across, that's William Conway's pitch for West Texas Comic Con. But not so important to necessarily watch the video. Only 34. Well, then she looks older than that. But I'm sorry to say, maybe some people might be hurt by this. In my view, 34 is middle age. It really is. I mean, the life expectancy for women is, I believe, 77. So 34 would be 68. That's close enough to be, you know what I mean? 40, maybe 30. What? So actual middle age, if you're being, really a stickler about it, what is that? 38 and a half would be considered where middle age starts. So she's close enough. But no, she doesn't. She doesn't look 34. She looks older than 34. There's some pictures of her on Twitter. Let me see. Yeah, I'm sure some people have seen them, but yeah, maybe 34ish. I'll see if I can share these really quickly. Listen, I can never do anything really quickly. I'm just such a slowpoke when it comes to this stuff. So there you see, clearly, that's an adult face. That's not a kid. So maybe they're 34 on there you go. Now that looks a little younger, but just because it's further back from the face, it's not, you're not seeing any of it close-up stuff. Yeah, I think this looks like a middle-aged woman. I'm sorry. That's not the body of a kid, certainly not of a very young person. She looks middle-aged. She looks, and there's nothing wrong with that. She looks pretty for a middle-aged woman, but now that doesn't look like a kid to me. That looks like a soccer mom, which I guess she is, and that's probably a better way of putting it than middle-aged. Anyway, her life expectancy of a woman is 82 plus years, so that would be 41 um, is where middle age technically starts. That's pretty good. That's an advance. It's into the 80s. What is it for men? I look it up. I'd say probably men would probably be about 77, right? 78 maybe. But that's improving from when I was young. When I was a young man, it was probably 10 years younger than that. I have a 35-year-old child living with us, my stepson. Been living with us since September. He's saying he's going to be moving out any day now to go back to Arizona for his. Man is 78. Okay. But even that's advanced because again, when I was younger, I remember it being, I don't want to say 67, 68 when I was a very young person looking at life expectancy. So for men, 78 is a life expectancy. So middle age would be 36. No, 34. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong again. 79 and a half, right? No. Yeah, 79. 39. God. All right, I'm quitting. I give up. No more math for me today. Anyway, so yeah, I would say she's as close enough to middle age to call it. Maybe I'm off by a few years. Okay, I'm off by 6 years. She'll be middle aged in 6 or 7 years. still, life goes. The point I guess I was struggling to make is that life goes by awfully fast, man. Because in the blink of an eye, it wasn't long ago she was a child. She was a child television personality with a cartoon show, and now, just like that, eh, life has gone by. She's a full-fledged adult, certainly, nearing middle age. We'll call it that. Getting close to middle age. Um, may at least it doesn't appear that she's bought into the whole I have to remain perfectly young my whole life and whatever it takes with that plastic surgery, whether that's Mike Chavot says he's gonna live to 114. I just hit middle age. Good for you, Mike. But I had a guest on who gave me My Vital C, and they were a sponsor in my early days of the show. My Vital C was a product that promises to double your lifespan, double it, which means I would live to 140, 156 if you take that 78 as being what the male lifespan is now, average male lifespan. So you double that, that's 156. That's what I would live to if I stayed faithful to my Vital C. I did take the challenge. He gave me a 6-week supply of my Vital C. Now, what my Vital C is just a carbon molecule, um, some special carbon C14 molecule, but in order to make it palatable, they put it in, they dissolved it in olive oil, pure olive oil. And you have to take it twice a day. And so I did it on the air for 2 shows every day for 6 weeks. Awful. Awful. I don't know, people I know people who can just, especially Italian people, just take olive oil raw. To me, it was the most disgusting thing. Uh one of the most disgusting things I ever had to do all my life, and I did not look forward to it. But I took it. I have to admit, and I did admit this on air because I had him back after the 6 weeks, and we reviewed my results. I did feel a little more energy. I did feel maybe a placebo effect all in my head too. That I felt a little younger, not half my age, apparently, but in 6 weeks, and certainly no adverse effects from taking it, so it didn't hurt at all. But my point of it was I don't want to live to be 156 years old. It's not about time, it's about quality. And I can't imagine. And so the claim made, and it's still there. And if you want to check it out, they offer a free trial of the stuff. If you really want to live a long life and looking for, I don't know, solutions for that, you can get a free trial of it. But again, I don't want to be 156 years old. I see people all the time, my age or just a little bit older, whose quality of life just sucks. And so I can't imagine having a quality of life in your 60s or 70s that sucks and wanting to live another 60 or 70 years. That's insane to me. Um, But I also have seen we played a birthday party for a 80-year-old, and the guy was a heavy metal head, and up dancing the whole night. Um, so age treats people differently, but quality of life is what it's all about. It's not necessarily um, how long you live. Good morning, Craig. I hope I've been talking about what's going on in New Mexico. I hope the fires are staying away from you. It's just devastating to see some of the films and footage we're seeing from what's going on there. The the stuff you posted last night on Twitter, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. Like that, And it seemed like no stopping that fire. Like that thing was, again, yeah. It's not like I see a lot of wildfires. Even when we had them here on Long Island in the '90s, late '90s, never saw it burning out of control like that. But that looked ferocious. It looked scary, and I'm glad that the news is starting to cover it, but again, it doesn't seem like anybody's putting any effort on a national level to make this an emergency situation to kind of deal with it. And if you don't know, if you're out there and you like don't know what the hell I'm talking about, just look Google Southwest or New Mexico wildfires. Desperately needing some wetness, water, rain, anything, and doesn't seem like America cares enough about New Mexico. And again, I brought this up earlier in the show, but radio is all about repeating shit because the audience comes and goes all the time. Um, Two broadcasts that I'm aware of, major news broadcasts. If you considered Good Morning America a major media outlet, and I do still, um, didn't seem to know that New Mexico is part of America. Actually claimed that it was part of Mexico. That's insane that people don't get that New Mexico is a state. To me, I mean that shows just how bad our education system is. But also, it was Good Morning America that had a map of the Southwest and had the state of New Mexico in flames with a label on it that said Arizona, and Arizona sitting there with absolutely no label on it. So they don't even know the geography enough to know, hey, that's New Mexico, not Arizona. On Good Morning America, and you would think these people have graduated college with a communications degree to have a job on a show like that. Craig says, we have a couple of days of high winds and a break Friday. Fires cover the combined land area of Albuquerque and Santa Fe, about 320 square friggin' miles. That's fucking amazing. Big time. Oh, I haven't sent Kiera a link. No wonder she's not here. I'm not doing well, man. What do I say? I'm kind of struggling to keep my equilibrium here lately. Oh, nope, wrong thing. Oops. Oh, Jackie is no. Oh, Jackie is just IMing me right now. Oh, TikTok stuff. Jackie Martling's TikTok page. Go check it out. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, I do hope you stay safe from the fires, Craig. It really, you're on our minds, in our thoughts, and that doesn't help. I know, but it is what it is. Um, so anyway, I hope you dealing with it as best you can. Stay safe, and I wish the federal government would take it a little more seriously than they appear to be taking it now. Today's show brought to you by who else? It's brought to you by Koa Coffee. Koa Coffee is the best coffee in the whole friggin' world. Um, it's Hawaiian. Let's talk dirty in Hawaiian. Um, no. I sent you that link. I meant to send that link to somebody else, Kev. I mean, I would welcome you on the show if you want to be on the show. You could say this, do this if you want to come on for a second. If not, you get. I did not mean to send you the link. It was meant to send it to Kiera. Would you like to? I was going to bring you.
I could give you some photos and stuff.
No, yeah. Send me videos if you want me to do that thing, but I only have to work on it.
Okay, cool, man.
Hey, I just want to introduce, because to the people in the crowd, I just want to introduce you. This is Kevin Mazer, a world-renowned rock star photographer who just popped in because I sent him the link by accident. Yeah. So, all right. Have a good day, man. Thanks for.
Yeah, no, I'll come on another time.
All right, cool. I look forward to it, man. See you later.
All right, brother.
Bye.
Take care.
Anyway, meaning to send Kiara the link. I sent it to Kevin, and it's good enough for him to pop on. Like, what's this? He wants me to come on. Good to know. I have that kind of power to summon people. Who is I am me now? Oh, okay. Um, things are happening in my world. Anyway, right now, I was gonna play cold coffee spot. I'll wait until after Kiara's done here. She's with us now. She's in the back end, and she just sent me something. I guess I'm supposed to pull up. Again, I'm just a loser today with technology. I'm gonna try to pull this up as I'm doing both. Bringing her in, and no, she didn't send me that. That was just Jackie sending me that. Oh no, wait, plain stuff. Oh, this looks like dog news, folks. This could be exciting. Um, let's see. All right, I'm gonna bring her in. I know I'm really, I'm just a terrible host here. We should fire me. I'm gonna have a talk with management about firing me directly after the program. Hello, I am a very handsome man. What? You don't think I'm very handsome? Say hello. Say hello, Tommy. Hello.
Tommy, he doesn't talk much. Tommy.
Try to explain that to people this morning. I was at a loss for trying to. I was not laughing at the guy. I appreciate him, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm ridiculing him at all. But it put me in a very strange place for the rest of the day. Like, wow, that was so friggin' surreal. I can't imagine that in a comedy club. Now, Kat said she dug it. She thought she liked that.
Yeah.
How unusual it was.
I liked it. I thought it was funny.
But I just can't imagine being in a comedy club. Now, people paying, they have the 2-drink minimum and admission and all that stuff, and you go in there and see that, and that's the first act that comes up. You'd have to think, like, you'd be looking around. It's like, it's a joke on me or what? Is this really happening?
It's one of those things that's funny after the fact. When you get home, you're like,
yeah,
have nightmares about that bear.
But he came from Iran. I mean,
Yeah.
Do that in LA of all places in the world, that's so freaking bizarre to think that. Like being
that's funny too. That's comical too.
Yeah.
That he's gonna be a big, I'm going to be a big star. With Tommy.
I have to say, you look a bit radiant this morning. What's going on? Did you get up early and get all of energy? Did you have a beauty?
What do you mean? What do you mean radiant? I have
radiant.
I look like I fell out of a trash can. And I have
I think
eyes.
you look. Well, I don't know. You look quite gorgeous this morning. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, thank you.
I know. I don't want to sound like I'm hitting on you.
I woke up at
like that.
No, I woke up at 9:23, and splashed water on my face.
All right, now let me get before we get to your thing. Hillary Duff, were you a fan of hers when you were a kid? Did you watch
No, I didn't watch no Disney Channel.
I didn't know that was even Disney Channel. I questioned that this morning. I know it was Lizzie McGuire. It was like half cartoon and half real or something.
No, I didn't watch any of that stuff. I watched Star Wars and Batman and the good stuff. Who watched that stuff? Come on. But anyway, go ahead.
But you that was part of your childhood experience, right? The Lizzie McGuire stuff, or no?
I think it was after me.
After.
I think it was a little after.
That's even more curious because she did a nude layout for Women's Health magazine yesterday. Now it's not it's not like a nudie magazine. Like it's not like Penthouse or Hustler or something like that. It's Women's Health, and they're not showing. It's all covered up in ways that's done tastefully, but nude just to show off what I think is a middle-aged body, and it's just astonished to see that it feels just like a moment ago that she was a child, and now she's like almost middle-aged. She's 34, which I actually thought she was older than that.
Oh, that's not middle-aged, Matt. Come
Where
on.
does middle age start in your view?
45.
35?
No,
45.
40, 45. 45. Yeah.
So you think everybody's going to live to be 90? Well,
Uh,
45, if it was middle age, it's half of 90.
okay.
Because
So,
women's, I'll give you what Christina came up with this morning. Looked up, women's life expectancy is 82 years old in America. So that would be 41 would be middle age. So she's 7 years shy of
wow.
that.
That's scary.
Right.
Wow.
Well, that's average.
My gosh.
That's the average life expectancy. Now, I can name lots of girls that I went to high school who are dead in their 50s and 40s. So if you average that out, some live to 100. You know the average part. But so I think middle age is okay. I would say 40 is fair, but she's close enough. 38 is close enough to 40. You'll be from 38 to 40 like that. Like that. I mean, 34 to 40, bam, goes by like you take a nap and you wake up and you're 40.
Yeah. Wow.
I know. So this is a cautionary tale for you who you're not quite 30 yet. Is make the most of every freaking second you have because
It's very difficult to make the most of every second, but I'm trying.
yeah, because you're gonna wake up tomorrow and you're gonna be my age and you'll be like, what the hell happened to my life? Where?
Right. Right. I'm already saying that.
Yeah, but so she hasn't. The layout that she did for me, it's kind of refreshing because she does have a little bit. She's not skinny. She's not like over. And
I have to see. Let me Google it.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
wait,
Keep
no, I'll
going.
bring it up. I got it. I got it right for
Okay.
you.
All right.
Hold on, Hillary Duff. Where I got to go back one.
So you're saying you're happy she's average.
I'm happy that she's not that she's not obsessing with plastic surgery and stuff like that, and like going to becoming like a sculpted. Now that's a face shot, so you can see she's starting to look a little middle aged. I mean, this is not a child's face anymore, and that's my point. I remember her as a child just yesterday.
Wait, go back to the booty one. Oh wait.
Wait, there's this one, right? So that's a woman. There's no doubt about that. That's a woman, and then she's not a 20-something. So the height of womanhood, and so this one.
Oh wait, go with that. What do you mean she's got an average body? That's a nice body.
It's good.
That's a nice body.
It's not like she's getting sculpted every day.
Well, she works out.
I don't think that's you think that's a workout body? It doesn't seem. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's a workout body.
This one?
Definitely. She's got a nice body.
I'm not saying she doesn't have a nice body. I'm saying it's not an obsessive body. Because you see these young girls today where you actually see every rib, right? Those, and they work out and they get like guys' abs. They get like six-pack abs, and they get arms that are like really tight. Not necessarily big biceps, but
I see what you mean.
She's soft looking. She's got like a Marilyn Monroe type of. A few extra pounds here and there, but she's not unattractive at all. She's just not obsessed with.
Yeah. Or how about she has the average woman's body, and then those women who have abs have abnormal, not women's bodies. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, but normal is what is trending right now. So. Whatever is trending at the moment. So that whole idea of the sculpted and the beyond sculpted, I mean, emaciated, skinny, with big butts, big arms, thighs that look like they want to be a running back.
You're so passionate about this. It's so funny. Matt hates big butts. And
I don't hate big butts. I was thinking about it last night. It's not my preference, but I was thinking about where it came from. Do women do that because they think that's what men want now? Like, is it driven by women's perception of what men find sexy, or is it women leading the way on that, saying we're going to be big butted now and you have to learn to like it?
I think it's a little of both. I think that a lot of pop music, hip hop music, is all about butts and shaking your butts. And
Kelly says Lizzo has an average body. Hillary, I don't know who Lizzo. Hillary looks great, but she works for it.
yeah, she definitely works out. That's kind of like what I do. I do like, 3 workouts on YouTube a week, and they're like, push-ups,
Y-
sit-ups, and squats.
I
And
don't
that's it.
have. Yeah, I don't have any, and I don't have any issue with anything. But you're working out. That's fine. I think
It's not like, every day,
I will
50
pump you up.
pounds. Yeah.
18 hours. I hire a personal trainer, and I got to make sure I look at myself 100 times, take 1,000 selfies a day, make sure
Right.
every angle looks absolutely perfect. That's not nonsense. And then when women start to be,
I just don't like
I'm
when
gonna
it gets
go.
whatever. Everybody could do what they want. But
Really?
personally, me, with the plastic, when it gets plastic, that's when I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
But
me
it's
too.
not you. But it's not you. It's not you. I mean, I
Yeah,
would
and-
like to touch up some things, but
I have
Yeah.
seen many pretty girls, pretty young women, destroy what I think was beautiful by overdoing the plastic stuff. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my lips gigantic.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you not realize that you were beautiful to begin with? You were born beautiful, and now
right.
you're becoming a Michael Jackson freak.
Yeah. But with your body. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah. The wake up call for me was I thought I was looking pretty good after having my 2 daughters, and then I'm sitting on Jones Beach. I don't know why I went to Jones Beach. I'll never go there again. But
Jones Beach.
yeah, I go to Robert Moses now, because Jones Beach, it's a bunch of young kids, and they're all in thongs, and they all have these big giant booties and these huge boobs, which are not real. And they're all smoking a pot and blasting music, and I'm on the towel with my kids. And I was like, wow, I look haggard. I go into the family beach. I don't go there anymore. And you can't compete. I mean, it's not a competition, but you look like you don't belong if you don't have plastic body parts.
Yeah.
Or a tummy tuck, or at least a silicone butt.
What? Yeah, and tattoos.
Yeah, anything.
When I was a kid, now I'm an old man, talking like an old man. But when I was a kid, women who had tattoos were a novelty, and there was nothing. And people would get like, I got a butterfly on my shoulder. I got. Now you see women who are trying to match like biker gang guys for it being illustrated. I got it all. My entire body is nothing but tattoo.
Yeah. It's a bit much, but I mean, whatever. It's not my body, but the only thing is, I do like the sleeves. I can't pull it off. I have like old lady hands already, and then like these really small, dainty arms. So I don't think that a sleeve would look good on my arm.
Wow.
But
Last night I saw Paris Hilton in
Ooh.
a photograph with some Chuck Grassley, who's up here. I'm going to bring this up. You got to see what I'm going to talk about here now. I'll show it before.
I used to love her, and I used to love Paris and Nikki. I used to watch them when they would do like regular people stuff.
Right.
That show.
Now,
It was
this
hilarious.
picture here, what do you notice about her in this picture there?
Are you going to talk about her hand?
Yes.
Her old lady hand?
It's an old lady hand. It's an old man hand.
Can you zoom in? Because I don't have my glasses on.
It's an old man hand. It looks like, I don't know. It looks like she was a carpenter for 100. Look at look at the size of her thumb. It's like 3 times bigger than mine.
She's really tall. She's almost as tall. She's going to have big hands. She's almost as tall as that guy. Who's that guy?
Her hands look freakishly mannish in this. That one hand that is showing.
I have to say, like, look at my hand. It's very, I don't know. It's very veiny, and my fingers are long. And I'll defend her here. It was probably hot in there. She was sweating, so her hand was red. All the blood was rushing to it, and it just looks enormous.
Christina says the hand matches her feet.
She has big feet.
I have not seen her feet. No.
I have huge feet. I used to be made fun of a lot. They used to call me clown feet. But what am I supposed to do? Chop half my foot off?
Well, I have very small feet, and I was obsessed with shoes. I think that I did it to myself when I was a kid. I did not want to have clown shoes. It felt like my feet were too big. And I wear size 9 for a guy who's 6 foot tall. Size 9 shoe is very small.
You're 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I know I slump a lot.
You're slumping. Yeah, you just put your shoulders back. Oh, okay. I'm a size 9.
Well, I think men's sizes and women's sizes are different.
I could probably wear your shoes. I think.
I think, yeah. But yeah.
I have huge feet. So what? So you did the Chinese tradition? You wore smaller shoes?
I think because I wore really tight shoes, really just exactly fit shoes, I think it stunted the growth of it.
Probably.
And here's the thing. Now, I realized later in life that bigger feet people have an advantage as far as physical stuff. It gives you a better sense of gravity, balance, and all that stuff. You become more agile. You can do more athletic things if you have big clown size.
And you don't need to rent water skis. You could just use your feet.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
they're enormous. But I mean, whatever. I'm not very athletic. I do understand what you're saying, but I'm probably the least athletic person. But I'm very competitive, but I suck. But big feet didn't help me there.
My sense of balance is definitely affected by my little fat feet.
Aw, cute. Do you have warped toes now because you crunched them? Are they all like disfigured? And okay.
No, just fat. They're fat. They're what? It's like this. This is my foot.
Wow. Wow. I feel so bad for you with your little chubby feet.
Don't feel bad. I'll be dead soon anyway.
Oh, stop.
You want to talk about dog news?
Yeah.
All right, let me go dog news. Dog news. I love dog news. All right, now I got to bring up this page that you brought me to.
Yeah, there's 2 because it's better to just see it.
2 of them? I got to bring up both of them?
No, not the one. The one is for next time. This one's for now.
Dog news is what it's called. Now I want to hit play, or you want to start talking about it first, and then I should hit play here.
I'll just to talk about it. It's from UPI. A dog escapes from baggage handlers at the airport. So this is kind of like if anyone's seen Homeward Bound. It's like a real life Homeward Bound here. A witness at an airport in Mexico captured a video when a dog escaped from the baggage handlers and led them on a chase across the tarmac. The video was filmed at, I don't know if you want me to, let's try this. Miguel Hidalgo y Castilla International Airport in Guadalajara, Jalisco. How is that? Is that good? It is unclear whether the plane had just arrived or was preparing to depart when the canine got loose. The filmer said the baggage handlers were eventually able to corral the canine back into his little tiny prison.
Now, hold on, I gotta add it now. Can I? There's no volume here. I want to bring the volume down.
Yeah. He was a little tiny dog. I don't know if you could see him. He was very like a little white dog. And props to those guys.
Oh, I've been there. Done that, trying to chase a little animal around and not be able to get him.
I would have gave up. I would have just said, your dog's lost. I'm sorry.
Well, he'll find his way back home.
From Mexico? What if they lived in,
so
Pennsylvania?
Was there a happy ending to this? Did they get the dog?
Yeah, they got the dog back, yes. But he did escape.
Oh my God.
That's so scary.
Yeah. Wow.
Don't tell me you had that happen to you.
No, but from the airport, I told you the story. My father brought a dog. I was 5 or 6. My father brought a dog we didn't want to keep, brought it to the airport and left it there, which was JFK, which was far enough away from Lindenhurst, Long Island. Thing walked back. I think it's a very common story with dogs. And that one, I think you had a story where a dog found their people across country, something like that.
Oh, maybe. Recently, it's been dogs in holes.
Holes.
Dogs stuck in holes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
I think that dogs can find you thousands of miles away. They have a way, like a family radar.
Yeah.
Find their owners somehow.
If they like you. The one dog I got my girls was an escape artist. And at one point I'm like, if you want to just go, go. Why am I keeping you here? Why am I feeding you and giving you a nice place to sleep when you dig under the fence? And I think she got hit by a car at one time because she came
Oh,
back limping. You
oh,
know, but what am I gonna do? Go, be free. I
right.
was insulted.
No, I get it. It's like you don't love us. The door's there, man. Come on. I treat people like that too. If you don't want to be in my life,
Yeah.
don't be in my life. I'm not keeping you here against your will. That
I agree with you, but there's part of me that's happening right now in my life, and there's part of me that I keep coming back because I'm just frustrated. I just want to know, like, why?
I get it.
Why don't you want to be in my life? But go, but just tell me why. Is it my teeth? Is it my big ears? Like, what is it? Is it my personality? Is it my feet? Just tell me. I just want to know.
Well,
It's not a
why?
man.
Why?
It's actually a family member. And you
I
know,
know that. I know
oh.
that. But why is it important to know that? Because it's only going to hurt you anyway. And
because I'm neurotic and I just need closure. And I know that this person, their truth is wrong. It's wrong. And they think that I am a terrible person, but I'm a product of them.
I know
Okay?
that.
I'm
I
a
know that.
terrible person, but you made me. And so are you terrible too? Can we talk about this without
That's
screaming? I'm
that.
so frustrated.
I think you just hit it right on it. I think I've had the same situation in my life,
I
and I
know.
think part of that is, yeah, it's projection. It's I
I know.
hate myself, and I'm taking it out on my kid
Yeah.
I because I can see me in you, and I hate that part of me.
or you could see my father in me because
Right.
you know that I
Right,
mean that
any
could
of
make
that.
it,
Yeah.
anybody could hate me if they see my father in me.
Right. But bottom line, end of it, it's their shortcoming. So don't think it's something in you that they're responding to. It's their own lack of empathy for
Right.
life and themselves.
Right. I'm past the self-pity. I'm like more I'm more emotionally detached. I just want to harass to the point where, like, let's talk about this, and I want them to I want to harass to the point where they finally admit, like, it's me, but it doesn't happen like that.
That'll never happen. Well, I shouldn't say it'll never happen. People can make miraculous changes and change who they are. It's rare, though. It's not a common thing, but it is what it is. All right.
It be
Well,
what it be.
yeah. I'm expecting Big T at any minute. Big T is the guy who got me into edibles.
Oh wow.
He's a comedian and host of THC TV. He's a guy who cooks his own edibles. So
Wow.
he should be here any minute now. So when you
All
come
right.
back, he'll be here.
Fantastic.
All right. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Gina says, my brother went to buy dress shoes. The woman in the shop took him to the aisle with big shoes, and he was like, no, I'm a size 39. 39. She looked at him and says, asked how he stays grounded when it's windy. Wait a minute. Size 39. That's a clown size shoe. That's like snowshoes. Size 39. Anyway, once again, this YouTube link you see going in the bottom here, I've no way. Can I put it in the chat room? Maybe I can. That's yeah, maybe I can. Hold on. That's a link to William Conway's pitch for the West Texas Comic Con, and yeah, we need you to go there and like the video. You don't even necessarily have to watch the video. You just have to like it. It helps William out with the contest or whatever it is to get more stage time over there, whatever. But he definitely needs more likes. I think he was up to 170 when we started the show this morning. Need that to be like 1,000. So if you could just, the link is now in the chat room. So, oh, Christina says 6.5 in the U.S. Okay, size 39. That was a real shocking number. 6.5. So a full-grown male with 6.5 size, that's boys' shoes in America. 6.5. I think I wore that in 4th grade. Seriously. Well, very small. Very small. Anyway, the show is brought to you by Cold Coffee. Did you know that? Or did I say that already? Cold Coffee is the best coffee in the whole damn world. Yeah. Forbes says it's the best coffee in America and one of the top 10 in the world. Now, Carl is down in Brazil drinking Brazilian coffee, which hurts me. It hurts me that Carl is not drinking Hawaiian coffee, Koa coffee. But he's drinking Brazilian coffee and getting the jitters where he needs to drink to take the edge off. Now, if it was Koa coffee, it would be much more natural, much more. You don't need to sedate yourself once you've drank 9 cups of coffee. It's just great coffee. Koa coffee. Give it a try. I'm not going anywhere. I'll stay right here with you. So let's watch this commercial together and get all excited about Koa coffee, shall we? This episode is brought to you by Koa Coffee. If you are a coffee connoisseur and want to experience the best coffee Hawaii has to offer, no blends, no compromise, try the true taste of aloha. Koa Coffee produces premium Hawaiian coffee, hand-picked, expertly roasted, and delivered from Hawaii to your door with aloha. From award-winning 100% Kona coffee grown on the slopes of the Mauna Loa volcano to the unique mocha beans of Maui, they strive to provide their loyal customers with the best quality and freshness. Since 1997, Koa Coffee has been known far and wide as a product of utmost quality, and their awards prove it. Koa Coffee was featured in Forbes' Top 10 Coffees of the World. This is the coffee Forbes called the best coffee in America.
Best coffee in the world.
It's all about. Go to minddogtv.com/coffee. minddogtv.com/coffee, or there's a link in the description just to go directly to Koa Coffee site and purchase directly right there, man. Say hello. 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 See, she's running along the beach there, just free as can be. Kelly says that Kelly Collin just liked her tweet. This is the happiest she's been for 2 days. I have to admit, this sounds, I don't know what it sounds. Silly, maybe. I'm a little jealous of that. I love, and Kelly Collins not a huge celebrity. She's family of celebrity. But to me, I love when celebrities like my tweet, and it's a weird kind of high. I get what she's feeling. Kelly Collins just liked that tweet, and that's worth talking about. It's worth being excited about. It's very a weird phenomenon for me because I know on some level it's like high school. Why am I excited that so and so celebrity like my tweet or like the post I put out on Facebook? Yesterday I wanted to punch Facebook right in the face. But so it's just weird. Sometimes, the reaction to somebody famous liking what you put out there, it's in a weird way thrilling. Thrilling is the only word I can use to describe it. And maybe it's silly, maybe it's petty, maybe it's immature. I don't know, but I get it and I feel it. And it can be a cool thing. Don't know where Big T is. Maybe I'm hoping he's not lost. Maybe it's early for him. I know, being a gambler and all. He's a nighttime person. Anyway, yeah, it's 10 a.m. He's supposed to be here now. I'm going to give him a little reminder buzz. Reminder. This is now. Anyway, hopefully he'll get up and see that message and join us soon. I like when funny people like my funny means I might be funny, and Andy liked it. Andy, you mean Andy Kaufman? Say hello to Tommy. Tommy does not talk a lot. Oh, you mean Andy Andrews, of course. Good morning, Colonel Mike. I almost called you Captain. I don't mean to call you Captain in disrespect. The greatest superhero of in American history, the last man to walk on the moon, is with us, ladies and gentlemen. Colonel Mike Kaufman. I salute you, Colonel Mike. I should stand up when I salute. But everybody will see that I'm not wearing pants, and that would be really disgustingly rude. Anyway, Big T, Tom Farrell, is with us. The man has changed my life. He is. I'm not kidding. I had him on the show once several months ago, and he's had a significant effect on my life. Changed the person I am. So it's time to welcome him into the program right now and say hello to Big T, Tom Farrell. Tom, how are you?
Hey, what's up, dog? How you doing?
I'm doing well. You changed my life, my friend.
Awesome. Do I sound all right?
Yeah, you sound beautiful. You sound like a radio guy, like a TV guy, like a big, like a THC TV host is what you sound like.
Yeah, I just woke up. That's why.
That's cool. I'm sorry to get you up. You can take a nap after we're done.
No, I gotta go for a bike ride. I gotta work on these tits. I gotta work on longevity of life. You know.
Yeah. So you've been out of the country, or I think twice since the last time I talked to you, which was only several months ago. You take a lot of trips, yeah?
Yeah. I been traveling a lot. I was in Cancun, and then just around the country. A lot. Where I was in Cleveland. I had a 96-year-old neighbor that became my friend. I had to go visit him. He moved to Cleveland. He used to love watching me make edibles, and he had like war stories for days. And like, I had to go see him before, God forbid, he's 96.
Yeah, 96. He's on a short time span. Wow.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Then we had a couple of road gigs. I spent on the road in April. Kicked my ass, man. A lot of driving. We were doing triple runs, and I was in Ohio, Georgia, South Carolina, Kentucky, Virginia, and just zigzagging across the country. But it was awesome. It was awesome.
With other comedians or by yourself?
I was the host. We had a middle act and the headliner.
If you ever do that again, you have to take me with you. I will document it. Well, because I don't know if you're familiar with a movie called The Unbookables, but it's a terrible movie that was attempting to be like a mockumentary documentary of comedians on the road. Very poorly done. And I want to get it done right, and just to kind of. So if you ever do that again, call me and say, "Come with me."
100%. We had me and the headliner. He was sitting shotgun, and the laughs. Once you're in the nest, with a lot of people, but let alone other comedians, the jokes were flying. A lot of the in between was so fun. It's just the to and the from, the long drives. But listen, a lot of joints,
Yeah. Now, last time you were here, I mentioned to you that edibles did not do anything for me, and you said, "I'm going to send you a care package," and you sent me some gummies that were 10 milligrams, and then this power something bar. And I was eating the gummies, and I was like, wow, these things actually work. I'm digging it. And then I went through all the gummies, and I was like, I got this bar here. It says 225 milligrams, but it can't be. Look how small this thing is. That's got to be. It's like maybe it doesn't make sense. And I ate the whole fucking bar.
Oh shit.
And I was hallucinating I'm not kidding, for a week. I was stoned for a week, stoned out of my mind for a week, and having like a mushroom trip, like hallucinating. But I was like, I was digging this stuff. I told my wife, I said, I think this shirt, this is like an hour after I took it, I said, I think this shirt is making me feel young. I feel like Superman. I have all this weird energy. I can do things. And I'm thinking it's the bar I just ate. And then shit started hitting me. And so like, wow, I'm in love with those power bars. But I don't.
There are punch bars because they're so small, but they pack a punch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because they look small, but that's why they have the glove on it. It's like, hey, no, we pack a punch. You know, so yeah, those are pretty good. It says 225, but they always feel stronger. I don't know why.
Well, yeah, and I just thought it had to be a lie, or maybe it means 2.25. It can't be because these edibles are 10, and they're almost the same size. These gummies are 10. Not prepared for what really I was expecting, but now that I've had that experience, I want to do that again. But I want to go to buy them online, and I can't buy them here. Is there a place in New York where you can buy those? Like
Big T. Big T.
Okay. No, I thought like a dispensary or so. Oh, okay. I didn't know like actual weed guys sell them, because you think weed guys are selling weed in a bag, like. But
yeah, but there's so many options these days. You know, like if you send out a video, it's probably over a minute video of just inventory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many options, and people's heads spin. You know, like because like I said, there's so many things out there.
All right, educate me. What are moon rocks?
Moon rocks, it's like modern day hash. They take some like bud. They dip it in like a THC solvent, and then they roll it in keef. And then that bud is just so strong. You know what I mean? Because you have the keef on the outside, the THC solvent on the inside, and it gets you ripped.
Wow.
I had some. They didn't go for whatever reason. You know?
I've seen them advertised, and I always wanted. It just looks like buds. That's all it looks like in the pictures. And I was like, what's the deal with this? It's just a like marketing thing, or what I'm calling the moon rock?
Yeah. Oh, because when they're covered in the THC, it looks like little like rocks that you might see on the moon. You know what I mean? With the keef, you know, it's like a greenish, like it just looks like something from the moon. It's cool. You open it up, you pull it apart like like old school hash.
Wow. Now I have one of the people who's currently in the chat room and a regular listener of the show, and a friend, Kat, who cooks her own edibles. And I expressed this to her, and I'm curious, when you got started with this, cooking your own stuff, was there any like, what if I fuck it up? I'm going to buy an ounce of weed to make it into butter and all this stuff, and I'm going to waste an ounce of weed now. Take an ounce of weed I paid maybe $400 for an ounce for, put it in a pan and just fuck it up and then ruin it for anything. Any of that? Because I nervousness about what if I don't do it right?
There was a lot in the beginning. I was lucky. There was some trial, not too many error. You know what I mean? I just got lucky. Maybe just did my research. I crunched numbers to with the amount of bud. Like you said, it was 400. I was like, all right. So if I use 7 grams, it's going to be $100 a batch. You know what I mean? I had to find the sweet spot, and then I did tests on myself and my friends, and I would find the right amount. You know what I mean? That worked financially, but the high had to be there. I like to make things really strong. You know.
It's a whole different high, and it's hard to measure, like, because I could go through a punch bar in one night, which is not necessarily recommended, but it will last a week. But it's not like a reefer high. It's more like a mushroom high.
It gets to that psychedelic point. You know what I mean? When you eat so much, you feel like you're getting teleported somewhere. Sometimes you just want it to end too. You're like, what the fuck did I do?
Well, I did have a couple, like, it's not like when you do mushrooms, I have periods that I want this to end and it will last a long time. With the punch bar thing, that lasted like a minute. I was like, I might be dying. I might be having a stroke. I might be having a heart attack. But that passed like really quick. I mean, it didn't linger, that feeling.
And I also feel like the edibles are like, it's like a DUI without the breathalyzer, because you probably shouldn't be driving. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're driving a boat. Like, I gotta get off the road.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
We don't recommend that on the not an Apple show. We're just talking in general. Just be safe out there, please.
Yeah, I can't imagine me because I'm a pretty bad driver, even straight. Yeah, what it is, what it is. As far as like what other kind of foods, gummies, people are like love the gummies, and I'm like, there's got to be a better way than just gummies. And now the Punch Bar is cool, chocolate. I like chocolate, but other kind of foods that you put stuff in, can you do it like in? I'm gonna have like chicken dinner or lasagna, any of that kind of.
Of course. Well, the Moon Rocks, besides being the bud you smoke, there's this brand Cocoa Nugs. They make chocolate that looks like weed, like they look like glass nugs. Like this guy at an event once, he came back in with his corn pipe. He's like, "This bud isn't sparking." I'm like, "It's chocolate." You know what I mean? Because it was a dark setting. I was inventing in the back. And they make another thing called Moon Rocks. It's like these graham crackers rolled in like this powder that looks like those Moon Rock things you were talking about. That's edible, but more on the savory side on THC TV. Where is it? Wrong side. I'm over here. We do everything. We've done lasagna, stuffed shells. I'm drawing a blank right now. Like even like I was working with this soul food spot that was doing comedy. And I did every condiment. We did homemade hot sauce, homemade ketchup, homemade chipotle barbecue sauce, mayo, tartar sauce, honey mustard, just everything. You can medicate anything.
Wow. That, now you're talking like a wild barbecue where everybody's walking around just ripped out of their mind.
And my first puff pass supper, which I held at my mom's house because I didn't have the space then. Are you familiar with the volcano?
No.
It's they vaporize the weed with a clear bag and it fills up. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah,
that clear bag is a turkey bag. You can cook turkeys in there. So all the THC fills up in the bag, and then it pops, it rips. So I had a couple of these bags, and I looked online that you can use them because it's coated with THC. So you put a chicken in there, you tie it up. And now once in the oven, the THC melts and just drips all onto the chicken. So now the chicken's medicated, all the fixings on the drippings underneath. Now you make a medicated gravy. And we did that. We had a whole chicken, meatloaf, mashed potatoes. It was wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, THC TV, that's only on YouTube, or is it? Are you streaming to other services and stuff? Or
I throw it on my Instagram, but mostly on YouTube. And I've been trying to get it on Twitter. My friend's trying to get me in these Twitter spaces. It's like Clubhouse, and I'm trying to get on there more. We had to take a little break. My camera guy broke his ankle, but we're back. We're editing right now. We're back recording in like a couple of weeks. We have a chicken franchise, just doing some final coloring and editing and pop-ups I add, silly stuff. So that should be out either today or tomorrow, and then. We have olive oil cake. I had a friend that came on and I last minute I thought I had butter in the fridge, but I had medicated olive oil, so I did a medicated olive oil cake, which was pretty good with a sea salt at top.
I was talking about olive oil before you came on this morning because some guy who was a sponsor early on has a product called My Vital C, which is a carbon molecule, C14 molecule covered in olive oil. And he made me take it twice a day for 6 months. It's for 6 weeks. It's supposed to double your lifespan. It's like a wonder drug. And tested in rats, laboratory rats. They lived twice as long as normal and lived healthy longer, useful lives twice as long. And so the idea was I was going to live to 144. I tried it every day for 6 weeks, twice a day. And olive oil is just gross for me. You would think that being half Italian that olive oil would appeal to me, but that was gross, man. I don't like it at all.
You ever see the people sip the olive oil?
Yeah,
noise, and you hear it coating their mouth.
That's what I had to do. I had to take a shot glass full of olive oil with this carbon molecule in it, but it was like, it's the worst. I had to have like a shooter ready behind it to kind of kill the taste of it.
Dog, another thing I was just thinking of when are you a fish guy? Do you eat fish?
I do eat some fish, not all fish, and definitely not sushi ever. I'm not a raw fish guy.
I'm not a big fish guy because they lie to you as a kid. Oh, it doesn't taste fishy, and then you taste it. It tastes fishy. If you didn't lie to me, maybe I'd be open minded. But my friend, right off of Rockaway, a little far out, but not too far out, they're catching beautiful tuna. And I eat the raw tuna. I don't eat the cooked fish for whatever reason. And there was a volleyball tournament. He had all this tuna meat, and we set up a stand. He's like, "How much do you want to charge?" I'm like, "We're not gonna charge. We're just ask him for tips, and just we don't want to look. We set up a little tent. We have regular poke bowls and medicated poke bowls, the Hawaiian dish. And the tip jar, people coming over medicated, throwing 20s in there. Like sometimes you don't need to charge. It's the concept. No, we're doing it for tips, and people just want to take care of you because you're taking care of them. At a volleyball tournament, fresh caught tuna, not even a day old, medicated or regular poke bowls.
Wow. You know what? You bring up a good point, though. Tuna I've been eating raw my whole life, but never considered it sushi. But that's the original sushi. I like tuna, but that's always done like raw. When you eat it out of a can, it's not cooked. It's raw tuna. So I guess that was the earliest sushi. No, there's a lot of fish I won't eat, but that's a cool thing. The volleyball tournaments on the beach, I miss that because we used to play. I was talking about that yesterday. We used to play Cedar Beach the band would be there during the volleyball tournaments, and 10,000 people would show up for volleyball tournaments. We'd be playing at the concession. As soon as it gets dark, there's no lights on the volleyball court, so 10,000 people would come up and watch the band, and it would be like a thrilling experience. So
no, that sounds like a great day. That's what a volleyball tournament is. Usually a bar somewhere nearby, a concession. Yeah. And listen, I love the ladies and just does it get any hotter than women's volleyball, man? I love supporting them, but it's such a beautiful thing to watch,
I would get in so much trouble when we were setting up with the band. I'd bring a video camera with me and just like tape all the girls in the bikinis just playing volleyball. Dirty old man that I am, but wow, yeah, what a thrill.
Content's content,
Gambling. Last time I talked to you, it was football season. And you were in the hole a little bit. You're up now. You're down. How you doing?
I had a chain of events. A
chain of events.
I was doing really good because I was getting in the prime end of the NBA season. Where the good teams are trying to play for the playoffs. Teams are already checked out in Aruba that are crappy, and I had the second trip. I had a 420 show in Astoria, and I had a bomb parlay, a huge last one I needed, and it paid an obscene amount of money. And there was a cash out that my friend was telling me to take. I'm like, no, we're letting it ride. I hosted the show. The team's down 10 at halftime. I'm like, that's when I could check my phone. And I'm like, fuck. But then they're coming back, and I picked up two comics. We're going over the Williamsburg Bridge. It's going to overtime, and I cashed out, and I left so much bread on the table. And that chain of events set me on a spiral tone where I should be up probably like 6 figures, and my bank account is looking so anemic. I had to stop. I stopped I've been dabbling the last week and a half, but I stopped like these bombs I was dropping because it just hurt me. This turn of event of cashing out the Sixers versus the Raptors on the Williamsburg Bridge, because I listened to my comic friends in the back. And I had a hedge already, and I cashed out, and I left a lot of money on the table, and then I just was betting. It set me off in a bad set, dog. This one particular bet, and being on the road, not sleeping well, I was just shooting. I started shooting blanks.
It's a streaky life. I know this because I grew up. My father was a bookie, and I understand. You get on rolls, and where you're winning all the time, you get on rolls where you're losing, and it becomes a streaky thing, and you become superstitious about everything. Like, oh, you're gonna jinx me. Everything's a fucking jinx, or everything's a good luck charm, or any of that kind of stuff. But the question is, when do you know that the bad streak is over and it's time to start getting back into it?
It was with the modern FanDuels, the online sports books, they mess with your mind because it's all about algorithms, and as the game's going on, they're offering you a large cash out, and it messed me up, and like I left a lot of bread on the table, and then I was just betting stupid, and I was like, looking around, I'm like, how's my account this when it should be that? And then I knew I was burnt out. You know what I mean? It's the playoffs. There's only good teams left. Right. I'm wrapping up. I need to concentrate on comedy. I need to write more. it was consuming my life once again, you know?
Yeah, that's why I stopped watching sports 13, 14 years ago now. Is it was consuming my life, and my whole existence changed. My mood, my day changed based on whether my teams won or lost. And I was like, this is no good for me. It was like a bad drug I needed to cut out of my life. Now I'm being like, they want to pull me back in with these sports teams. The baseball teams doing well in New York keep begging me to come back, and I'm like, no, fuck off. I can't watch this. Are you a baseball fan?
Yeah, big Met fan. And and you're talking about this moment. I had one of those aha moments.
Yeah.
For FanDuel, besides if I don't gamble for a day, he would put like 500 in my account just to get me reeling me back in, you know?
Yeah.
And then he gave me net tickets. Everything was free. You go up and scan whatever you want, dog. Everything was free.
Right.
Then he offered me Yankee. Me and my friend, we get Met tickets. So he had Yankee tickets. I usually go to one Yankee game a year. I'm a Met fan for the Lobel steak, the steak sandwich. It's from this butcher shop. They have a butcher shop right there. Phenomenal filet sandwich. I go for the sandwich and the game, you know? So he gives me the tickets. Me and my friend, we go. He's like, everything's free. I try to scan it. Steak sandwich isn't free. My friend's like, I want Nathan's. I'll get a hot dog. I'm at the game. Not free. I'm like, how is Nathan's not free? So then we go. I go to customer service. Like, these tickets are free. They go, you have to go to suite level. I go to the suite level. It's the 1%. I smell lobster. You get a wristband. You go in there. They have cutting boards. Lobster, stone crab from Florida, Ben and Jerry's stand. Dog, my mind was blown. I was sitting 9 seats behind the umpire. You know what I mean? And my friend's sitting there like, at that moment, I'm like, how much am I a degenerate to sit in like $1,000 seats that they're giving to me for free? That's when I knew I had to take a break. And my friend's like, yo, what did you get these tickets? And I'm sitting there during the game when I should be enjoying it. But I'm realizing how much money I have spent to get these free tickets. Whether it's whining and dining you. Lobster,
yeah, I know.
crab. Like, it's insane. The Yankees Legend Suites, if you ever have a chance, you know what I mean? Maybe bucket list, whatever it is. Someone has, it's how the 1% live. You know
I know this. I'm a Met fan too, or was a Met fan, and now the Mets are the team that's trying to lure me back in. And I'm always like, no, they're gonna crash and break your heart. I know, no matter how good they look in April, they're gonna fuck me up. But I went to a game with my buddy Mikey a couple of years ago, before the pandemic, and I'm going next Tuesday night. And what he does is, it's not even about baseball. It's about it's like a wedding or like a catered event where all this incredible food and booze and everything, it's all free, and it's just like one thing after another. And by the time that I can't eat anymore, stop with the great fucking food, stop doing it. But nobody caring about the game. It's all about this fucking catered event. Like I'm at like a red carpet, like a Hollywood premiere or something. And it's not really about baseball anymore, which is very weird to me. It's a fucking strange situation.
The home field advantage isn't there because people are at the concessions or downstairs eating lobster.
Right. Yeah. So being a Met fan, this team this year, are you expecting them to collapse like I am? Because I'm trying not to pay attention, but it's hard when they have an April like they did. It's hard not to get enticed to say, yeah, maybe I'll get back into baseball because it's looking like it's going to be a good year. But I know I'm still hurt from 2008 when the second year in a row they crashed to the Phillies in September. That still wounds me. That's when I September 28th, 2008, where Ryan Church, David Wright, and one other guy all struck out with the bases loaded, and all they need to do was tie the game, and they're in the playoffs. Bottom of the ninth, they all struck out, and I said, "That's it. I'm done with baseball till the Wilpon sell." Wilpon sold, and I'm still like, I don't trust the Mets.
I think that was the year Jose Reyes on third base gets off to antagonize the Marlins, who were done for the year. Like, right. He did something where he pulled, like, with the guy has the ball a couple feet away, he gets off the base. Like, that's not baseball. That's unsportsmanlike. And it really pissed off the Marlins. They showed up and that started a turn of events where they lost like those eight games or something at the end of the year. And they lost they missed out on the playoffs. That still stings. The year with the Royals, we had season tickets that year, which is a marathon. It sounds like a great idea. Going every day, it starts to become a little bit of a pain, you know. But that hurt so much. Like I didn't go to the last World Series game because I couldn't walk out of there depressed. You know what I mean? And it happened. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't do it. But listen, this team, we don't even have DeGrom yet. You know what I mean? I'm going on Friday.
I know.
4 of us are going on Friday. Scherzer's pitching. You know what I mean? He's been okay. He's gonna round into form, you know, as the season goes on. So it's still, we don't even have the best pitcher in baseball yet, dog. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I'm definitely cognizant of that. They're doing well without Jacob deGrom, and that's amazing. They're doing very well without him, and I can't think, wow, with him, how great would they be with him? But I know the Mets, and they just want me there so they can fucking stab me in the heart.
It's different. This guy Cohen, he ate the money on that crappy Robinson Cano contract. You know what I mean? Like, the old Mets would have held on to him. Let's see if we can get some more juice out of this steroid.
You're absolutely right. They would have held on to him until they're still paying Bobby Bonilla, I think, right?
Yeah, a couple more years. It's actually coming up, Bobby Bonilla Day. I think it's sometime in June.
Yeah,
he gets the check and people celebrate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Listen, the fact that they ate Cano's contract so they have a roster spot to better the team, like that. This guy means business. He's a billionaire. He's a Met fan from when he was a kid. So it's a different era, but I understand, like a battered wife, you still have that trauma. You know what I mean? At the Mets, years of abuse.
Yeah.
At the hands of this team. I get it, dog.
Yeah.
But no, I really like this team. I'm looking forward. This is the first time ever, because I was on the road because with the lockout, it got pushed back to a Friday. So I missed the home opener. It's the first time ever in my life I went to a Yankee game from FanDuel for free before I went to a Met game.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to Friday, and it's funny you said that with it's like a wedding with the food and everything. As a fat person who used to drink a lot, you know what I mean? People are like, oh, you probably save money going to the baseball game. I'm like, because it's like a $20 beer. I'm like, you would think so. You know what I mean? But they cut me off at the 7th inning. Now I'm eating an edible, and I'm getting something to eat every inning. You know what I mean? They don't stop me from eating hot dogs in the 9th. Extra innings, I'm getting Cracker Jacks, ice cream. I'm spending more money on food than booze.
Yeah.
At least with the booze, they cut you off in the 7th. Food, I'm just eating, especially with the edibles, nonstop all game.
Yeah, the guy who took me he's slimmed down a little bit, but he was very heavy when he took me, and I had to throw in the White House. And Mikey, I can't eat anymore. And then on the way home, I was like actually sick. I was sick for days. I felt like I overdid Thanksgiving dinner like tremendously, and I was in pain for a couple of days. Like I had enough of the food. I went for a baseball game, not to get stuffed. So I want to know if you're on the same page with me. Now, I was a couple of Fridays ago. I was at a gig. Maybe it was Saturday. I think it was Friday. And they said, "Oh, Mets had a no-hitter tonight." I was like, "Really? Who pitched?" And it was a combined no-hitter, 5 different pitches. I was like, I hate that. I love the fact that they pitch a no-hitter, but I hate the pitch count. And I think the pitch count, you can talk about all the fucking stupid rules they have now, putting a guy at second base, DH, all that kind of nonsense. All those rules don't piss me off as much as the pitch count does, and how it's ruined baseball. Because I think back to guys, Nolan Ryan would pitch into the 15th inning if he had to. Tom Seaver would pitch into the 15th, 13th, 14th. Bob Gibson, Juan Marichal, all these old guys never worried about a pitch count, and they got stronger as they went on. Even Kurt Schilling would pitch into 11th, 12th inning. Now it's if a guy hits 100 pitches, that's it. The game's he's out. And with a no-hitter on the line, taking a guy out who's pitching a no-hitter, that's sacrilege. Do you agree with me on any of that?
100%. Dave Roberts, the Dodgers coach, he did this a couple of times, pulling the guy, not even 100, maybe 80, 70, like whatever. Maybe they were in the gym, you know what I mean? Like, or not even a gym because they're no-hitter, but he pull them early for whatever reason. It's like, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And then the next inning, the guy gives up a hit. You know what I mean? Sometimes they even lost the game. You know what I mean? I love when they go against this like you know what I mean, the pitch count, and then they lose the game outright. Like you were dealing, and this is what you get for taking this pitcher out. You know what I mean? Now you lost the game. You had a no-hitter, let alone a W, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it conditions the guys to be soft, too, and makes them more injury prone. Again, Nolan Ryan, I don't think he was ever on the DL, ever. And he pitched till he was 100.
Right, and Robin Ventura, even at the old age.
Yeah.
In his older age. But yeah, if you Google most pitches in a game, your mind will explode. One guy, I think, did 245 innings on pitches in one game. Nolan Ryan's up there, like in that 15-inning game.
Yeah.
It's an obscene amount. I can't remember, but I Googled it once. Like most pitches in a game, they're like, it would blow your mind with what we're dealing with today. It's like,
and then came back on 3 days rest and then pitched another 150 the next time out or whatever. So yeah, and I think that there were too many of them who were workhorses. That to me it seems like the pitch count is a negative thing for long term, like you mentioned DeGrom, and I think because they baby him so much, that's what's making his arm more susceptible to getting tweaked or whatever. If they just let him throw, let him be a racehorse and just let him run, I think he would work through that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like
listen, we have Scherzer on the team. He loves going the whole game. You know what I mean? Like we'll see how they handle that because he's a veteran. He's a little older now, but you know what? That's what he does. He loves pitching the whole game. Like.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But when you get a chance, Google the most pitches in a game. You'll see some obscene numbers. Like this is when was this? You know what I mean? Like 245 pitches. That's 3 games now.
I know. I know I sound like an old man. I don't want to make you sound like an old man because you're not an old man yet. But the nostalgia for what used to be is part of what drives me too. I mean, and all that stuff. But
yeah, back in the day, we used to have pitches that we need acid and pitch.
Yeah.
The guy you ever hear that? The guy in the Pittsburgh Pirates, Doc
Ellis with LSD threw a no-hitter on LSD. Yeah.
As someone who's eaten a lot of acid as a kid, how are you doing?
I could see how it depends on how long into the trip he was, because I've had trips that, they get 18 hours, 20 hours or something trips where you want them to end. But at the beginning, when you're just getting it, I could see how you could get locked into a groove and just you be in the zone and nothing matters except the strike zone. That's all I could see, man, is that strike zone.
No, it's funny. As you were talking, I was thinking about this. When I used to drink, I was good at baseball, but I was also good at drinking. And I was like a mascot for my friend, our softball team. They still play and stuff. And it was like a Wednesday. I was day drinking at this bar on the beach. And we have a game tonight. And there was this like young kid. He was like, reminded me like John Lennon. He always like did this hair flip thing. And he had liquid acid. I ate a couple of drops. And I'm like, fuck, I'll show up to the game. I just bring a 36 pack. I usually on the sidelines just heckling the other team. For whatever reason, my friend's dad was the coach. He's like, Farrell, short right. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm playing today? And a couple of my friends do. And I'm like smiling, throwing the ball. First play of the game, they crack the ball. I go and run. I do this like weird like jump, like that. The ball was like 30 feet behind me. And the coach was like, Farrell. He pulled me out of the game right away. And I'm on the sideline just smiling like this. Because then now everyone else on the team, it's he's on acid and he's been drinking all day. I don't know why they put me in. Like they never would put me in. Not that I couldn't play. That I was usually just drunk and just hanging out.
That's funny.
I jumped. I remember looking and went about 50 feet behind me, nowhere even near the ball.
Did they question you about it at all?
I was out of control. It was on par with my behavior when I would be drinking. So it wasn't. I wasn't acting like not normal. This is normal stuff for me,
Yeah. One of the first times I ever did LSD was I was a very young, probably 11 or 12. And it was always like on a holiday, and it was New Year's Eve, and my parents wanted me I had like a curfew. I had to meet them, and we were going to a old people's party. You know, my aunts and uncles and all people in their 60s and 70s at that point, and I was 11 years old, and tripping my brains out, and I forgot how to talk. I couldn't create words, and all these old people trying to have conversations with me. I'm like, I'm gonna get busted here. Somebody's gonna figure something, but they never did. They just thought I was a weird kid. Which is,
But then a 12-year-old, 11-year-old be on acid at the party, you know?
yeah. I remember
Who had a
seeing this
softball
old
game.
man turn into a frog in front of me, and they're like, "Whoa, freaking!" Oh yeah, very weird shit. Kiara's with us now for the happy moment. I don't think you met her last time you were here, but this is a new, well, not a new segment. She's been with us a while, but stick with us here. This is called the Happy Minute, and Kiara is on her. Oh yeah, Kiara, meet Big T, Tom.
Hi, Big T.
Tom, meet
Hey,
Kiara.
Kiara, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
So we were talking about a lot of things, sports and edibles and all sorts of unsavory things like that.
11 years old on acid, Matt. What made you want to do that?
You know, the first time I did it was at Christmas Eve. It was at the Our Lady of Assumption midnight mass. We went, a bunch of us, like 11, 12 years old, took acid and went to midnight mass on Christmas Eve, and there were no seats, so they put us up in the balcony, and we were like, I'm tripping my fucking balls off, man, and laughing and saying stuff like, I'm tripping my fucking balls off. And then a nun came up and she was pointing at, son. And we were like all laughing at the nun, like, "What? Look at her! She's making her arms out, you crazy nun!" And she called my friend over. She goes, "There's a microphone in front of you. Everybody in the church is listening to what you're saying." And we looked down, and the whole town. Now this is a local church where everybody knows everybody, and there's 500, 600 people on the floor of the church looking up at us like, "You're demons!" And one friend just said, "I think we should go." And we just got up in single file and just like walked out.
Oh my gosh.
And of course it was the talk of the town when Christmas vacation was over and back in school, like, "Oh, you guys, you were one of them." Oh, everybody heard about that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a different time. We're talking about early 70s. LSD was not, I guess 11 and 12 years old was, it seems like, by today's standards, to be like, wow, that's crazy. But it's the age of hippies, man.
Wow.
But we all had older brothers and sisters who were just like totally into everything. I mean,
Right.
pills and hallucinogens and every kind of drug you can name. So it was
Wow.
different times. Yeah.
The only drug I've ever done is weed. I can't. I've never.
Well, you're
touched
talking to the
anything
right
else
guy now.
No, I'm not an edible person. Please, I had terrible experiences. I will never ever ingest marijuana again in my life.
Really?
Yes.
Not even in edible form. Did you ever try edibles?
Yes. Multiple times, because multiple people said, "Oh, it's who you do it with. Oh, it's the amount of THC. Oh, it's this." So each time, okay, I listened to them. Definitely different experience than smoking. Definitely.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is. I agree with that.
And I don't want to say I'm a control freak. I like to be in control of myself and my surroundings as much as I can, and to just, to sit on the couch and experience this body high you get, it's torture for me. It's like, it's crazy.
So playing baseball on LSD is probably not in your future.
No.
Well, Tom hosts a show called THC TV where he basically cooks with THC.
Wow.
And talking about some Italian, because I questioned him about the stuffed shells. I think the latest episode for Chicken Francaise.
Yeah, Chicken Francaise coming out either today or tomorrow. We also do CBD if you ever want to come on.
See?
Yeah, CBD is fine for me. I'm okay with that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm okay with CBD. I'm what they call one hit quitter or whatever. Everyone laughs at me. That's what I am.
So, did you bring us some happy news? Something?
Yeah, I did. I
Wait,
did. I
before
sent
you
you
do that, I want to tell Tom about what happened yesterday. Yesterday we had a comedian on. It was the weirdest one of the weirdest interviews I've ever done, and I'm still kind of traumatized by it. This guy came from Iran to perform. He left his family in Iran to come to America by himself to be a stand-up comedian. Now they don't have American TV over there. They don't have any, comedy albums or anything. I don't know what his influences are, but he came here and he's in LA doing regular open mic nights at the LA Improv, and he doesn't tell jokes and he doesn't tell funny stories. His act consists of, I want to make people happy because I'm a very handsome man, as you could see. I'm a very handsome man. And he buttons his shirt up. He comes out and says, hello, people. I want to make you happy. I'm a very handsome man. And I said, well, that's your act. He goes, well, I have a book and I have this puppet. The puppet is a panda bear, Tommy. Say hello, Tommy. And Tommy doesn't talk much. He's just holding up a panda thing. Say hello, Tommy. And Tommy says no. And so he takes the paw and waves it. That's your act in the LA Improv with comedians who are going there to get in movies and films and television and all this stuff.
And he's the one. He's the one that's gonna make it.
Right.
Because it's so extreme.
Say hello, Tommy.
I was at an open mic the other night. There was a couple of, I guess, street performers, improvers. Like it was something.
As weird as a guy from Iran pulling out a panda puppet and doing basically what I think is like a children's party act for adults in one of the prime comedy hotspots in America. It's fucking bizarre. Man.
Listen, you see a lot of wild things at open mics. Like there was this one lady. They had to tell her to stop lifting her dress up. She had no underwear on, and she was like talking from the back, and you've seen everything.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, for a crazy lady, it didn't look that bad. But I'm sitting there in front row, like, what the hell is this?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Where do I find this?
Wow. Wow.
The other night there was Matthew Silva. He has like over 100-something-thousand followers. He was like the love fart guy. He wears like a little girl's bathing suit, like with a chicken on the corner in Brooklyn, rolling around on the floor. And like now he's doing stand up, and he was there and throwing himself against the wall, making these weird faces. But like it's not the guy with the puppet. But you see some things, man.
Wow.
Because anyone can go, So. If you have
for me, it threw me off my game all day yesterday. Like I was questioning, like, what
questioning life.
Yeah, and my ability. It was so surreal. It's like, was it me or am I a terrible interviewer? Like, how am I supposed to approach a guy like that and try to talk to him for an hour? And
maybe he was like the Andy Kaufman kind of guy who was just playing the part, and he's really not like that.
That's what I said to him. I said, you remind me of Andy Kaufman, because Andy Kaufman's first gig in New York City he was doing a children's act for adults, and he was and the cow goes moo and the pig goes oink, and like people were like, what the fuck is this? I paid I got a 2-drink minimum here for this.
Right.
So sorry.
You could be like me and walk into an open mic, and it's a comedy open mic. I told you, and I had to sit through the whole thing. Then they called my name, and I got up and sang like Etta James, and everyone just was like, "What the fuck?"
You didn't know it was a comedy open mic. You thought it was a music open mic.
I thought it was a musical open mic, and I realized, after 2 or 3 people, I said, "Oh wow, it's just comedy." But I just stuck to it, and I made some friends. They did. The people after me, they just used me. They just used me as their act, just making fun of me, how I dressed,
I could see that.
where I came. But it was okay. Then we went to a comedy club after that, and we sat in the front row. And again, I was the main focus for most of the people up there. And I was like, all right, I'm never going to a comedy club again.
Well, if you're doing this with tracks, I would probably called up. I would have completely gone Andy Kaufman and pulled up something ridiculous and just lip synced it, if in a comic
Yeah.
clip, just to save
Yeah.
face. Like
That's a
just
good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I was
what do you
thinking.
got for us this half hour? Am I
sent
pulling up
you-
something?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
sent you a picture because this is from Fox News. A drunken Maine man, a man from Belfast, Maine, arrested after trying to hide from police under a blanket. I think one of the police officers quoted, "Is this an episode of Scooby-Doo?" But if you see the picture, it's pretty funny.
Damn it! I
what?
got an ad I have to sit through while I'm
Yeah, I know.
waiting.
Well, and it says, and he would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for Maine's Belfast Police Department. So basically, he was intoxicated, running away from the police. I think he was on someone's porch.
I've
Let's
been
see,
there.
hold on.
I've done that.
Hold on. Police performed a sweep of the parking lot around 12:40 a.m. Police say they found someone hiding in a chair with a blanket draped over themselves. Police pulled the blanket off to reveal the man hiding underneath it. Yeah, he's very clever.
I don't know why they show me Roe v. Wade stuff here.
No,
what happened? Oh, here
there
it is.
There it is. There it is. I mean, it's pretty. It does look like a chair. He did try.
Yeah. Oh, you know what that sound is? That sound is it's time to say goodbye to the people at